Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. What's good, what's good, what's good? So market week wake up today and the market is kind of ugly. Why is it ugly? Well, we have Jackson Hole starting today. We have some expected comments by Jerome Powell from Jackson Hole. I'm going to tell people we should have priced in the fact that he's still on the fence about cutting rates. If he cuts rates, it's going to be because there's just too much pressure building up. But I don't think that the numbers are there. Looking at everything that's happened recently, I don't think the numbers are there to cut rates. I think the market is ahead of its skis by begging for these rates. I think one person wants the rates cut, and people just jumped on the bandwagon, and they're just not looking at the numbers. They're not economists, right? And I when I look at the numbers, I'm like, where's the case? Where's the case? There's a stronger case to not cut rates, frankly. There really is. And it could just be because, it's about that time, right? I mean, everybody said the one thing that everybody agrees on, had tariffs not happened the way they happened, not to say that they shouldn't have happened, but had tariffs not happened the way they happened, we'd already have rate cuts. We'd already have those rate cuts. Everybody knows it. I don't think there's a single person out there that's disputing it, except maybe the new regime. So when I look at it from that perspective, it's kind of like, yeah, what the heck? What the heck? You come in, you wreck the markets, you continuously use the same word to wreck the markets, you're manipulating the markets. Why? Because your family is getting in on everything. Good morning, Hutanic. So that's what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at the reality that the markets are being manipulated at the highest levels and to serve a purpose for one, right? And the sycophants are helping it happen. And who's getting burned? Just ask all the people that have been liquidated over the past few weeks, over the past few months, right? Just pay attention to that. So I'm not so sure that we're going to get rate cuts, and I don't know if the market is poised to take another hit going down. Like, could we see $100,000 Bitcoin instead of $124,000 Bitcoin? Yeah, it really could. Why is that? Because I don't think that everybody's factored in the fact that he might come out and be hawkish and just say, yeah, no, I'm not seeing the numbers. He's hinted at it. The numbers just don't back it up. And that's going to send people like off the deep end. But I'm going to, when I listen to some of these people out here, a lot of the players out there are starting to think, yeah, September rate cut might not happen. There are some large companies that are actually thinking there's not a single rate cut that's going to happen this year. And they all note why. And it's like, yeah. Then you have to consider, well, what's going on? What's going on in the market that would affect all of this? And why is that going on? Look at the deals around the world that's going on. I mean, Asia's thinking about IPOs in the United States. CoinCheck is over here. It's listed on NASDAQ. BitThumb is planning a U.S. IPO. Those are all foreign market. Those are both foreign market companies wanting to play here because they believe it's more lucrative. Highly possible. Now, again, I'm not an economist. I could be wrong, but I'm just listening to I'm listening to economists. I'm listening to, fund managers. And a lot of them have already said, well, yeah, had the tariffs not come, we would have had rate cuts. And because of how everything's playing out now, not sure if we'll actually get them. Because inflation, that's the reality check. Anybody that's screaming for a rate cut, ask them about inflation. Ask them how much grocery prices are. Ask them how much grocery prices have gone up. Ask them those questions. They won't know because it's not something they handle personally. They don't know how much eggs cost. They don't give a crap. They have enough money just to go buy the eggs, while other people are running around buying loose eggs. I pay attention to those kinds of things. Something else that caught my attention: Skybridge Capital plans on tokenizing $300 million worth of assets on Avalanche via Luxembourg's Tokeny, aiming to increase world asset trading on blockchain by 160%, using 10% of its $2 billion in assets under management, and forecasting a 2026 to 2027 tokenization surge. Shocker there. I told you guys, I keep telling you guys, pay attention. I'll get to that in a second. I keep telling you guys, pay attention to the curve. It's not going to go up in a straight line. It's going to go up in a curve. It's going to go up in a curve just like that. Things are going to happen, and then an explosion up in terms of tokenization until they level off. The new way of doing business via tokenization is here. It's here. I mean, you already have California tokenizing, automobile titles. You have Bergen, New Jersey, a municipality tokenizing property information. Now you've got this. You're seeing more and more tokenization happen. Just happen. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's large. Skybridge Capital and $300 million. Yeah, that's kind of large. Yeah, I'm not reading metaphors and stuff like that. It's a news day. Something else that caught my attention: Coinbase and Pantera predict an altcoin season by September. So what you're saying is things are going to go up in September, and then when do things go down? Now, I do believe that September-October timeframe is a positive timeframe. After that, because DMAX said we're going to get the XRP ETF in October. The date is set for October 23rd as the next review point. So it could happen. I'm looking at this SEC and I'm thinking, yeah, they've been very comfortable kicking the can down the road. They've been almost ridiculously comfortable kicking the can down the road. And I'm kind of like, really, folks? This is what we're doing? So I don't know. I used to have faith in it. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, no, I don't know. We might not see ETFs until next year. I think the current regime is going to have issues trying to explain to people why their grocery prices skyrocketed almost 40%. There's going to be some huge blowback. I think one of the things that I actually like is the fact that, well, if a large organization, a large company wants money from the government, they should give the government a piece of the action, right? I actually agree with that. Enough of the free rides. Kick everybody off of the government role, right? No tax breaks. Oh, we're going to bring jobs. No, screw you. No tax breaks. You want to do business? That's a part of doing business. You're not getting a discount. Cut that out. You do that, and that will take care of our deficit. That right there takes care of our deficit, no matter where you are in the United States. Stop giving these companies tax breaks. There's no reason for it. You're going to give a tax break to a company that should be paying billions in taxes? Cut it out. Some of these companies are seeing record profits, and we're still giving them tax breaks. We're still giving them write-offs. We're still giving them all these things. Why? That makes no sense. It's dumb. ARK Invest has increased its bullish holding to 1.1 million shares and increased its Robinhood shares to 908,000 shares. Interesting. That says that they believe in the crypto space. Kathy Wood believes in the crypto space, bullish, and Robinhood. And Robinhood is suing a couple of states over their sports betting. They sued Nevada and New Jersey regulators to block enforcement against its sport event contracts, arguing state actions unfairly compete with federally allowed prediction markets like Kalshi, despite federal court rulings permitting similar contracts. Yeah. Kind of a big deal. SEC Paul Atkins proposed classifying only a few tokens as securities, citing the need for tailored regulation as the crypto market dropped 2.3%. Yeah, okay, it dropped. But he has a point. What he's trying to do is bring some clarity to the space. I appreciate that. I absolutely appreciate that. But I think he needs to get there faster. I think the best way that he could have done it was, again, say, this is where I want to get to, and this is the roadmap on how we're going to get there. So there's a predictable path that happens. There's a way that we can measure his team's actions across time. I would have liked that. That would have been a smart move. That would have been a very smart move. What else do we have going on? We've got 8 trade groups urged the Basel Committee to delay 2026 crypto capital standards, arguing that a 1,250% risk weight for some assets could push the $2.8 trillion market. I mean, it's bigger than that. I think it's 3 point something, right? We just said that. Outside regulated banks. It's already outside regulated banks. And the Basel Committee doesn't seem to want to wake up to the fact that crypto is here. It's here to stay. And some of their standards are antiquated. And they're going to have to take the time to rethink things. Stop being lazy. Rick Ritchie into his house. Good morning to you, sir. Don't forget to invest in yourself today. Lieutenant, if you're still there, also don't forget to invest in yourself today. So yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, why are people not paying attention to all of these moves that are going on right now? AMTD Group launched a program allowing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoin holders to exchange crypto for shares in 3 New York Stock Exchange listed affiliates, though only AMTD stock rose slightly post the announcement. Ha ha ha. I can trade my crypto for stock. What are you, stupid? Or stupid? Then lost your mind. Nah, it's not one or the other. It's kind of a both situation for me. I'm going to own certain stocks. I'm going to own certain cryptos. That's the way it works. And you think that that's a good idea. AMTD Group, I don't know. Something special must be in your cereal. Just wondering. Eddie Alexander, no relation to me. He spells it with a Y. Was ordered to pay $228.5 million in restitution for a $248 million Ponzi scheme. Now, help me understand this. The penalty is lower than the number for the Ponzi scheme. I've never understood that. If I believe your Ponzi scheme is this big and you found guilty, you should have to pay that back plus a penalty, not pay back a portion so you still walk away with a couple of bucks. Just saying. I've never liked that. This bank cheated some of their customers out of $1 billion. We're going to give them a $250 million fine. That means they walked away with $250 million. Look at some of these fines that some of these companies get, and you sit there and you're kind of like, I don't understand that. How's that work? And then here's the kicker. What I really don't like is the fact that, well, they're charging the bank, but they don't charge people. And I'm like, people at the bank made those decisions. So the head honchos at the bank, if a bank is, liable for something, I think the executives at that bank should be held accountable. Oh, but the bank is an entity. It's not a human being. Oh, but the bank's a human being, not an entity. Depending on what court case you're looking at. Like, no, if you've done something, you should have to pay something. You should have to pay it. Now, I can understand if you've inherited something, then it can't be put on you. I get that. But there should be severe penalties for the institutions. Severe. If you cheated people out of $1 billion, you should have to pay back $1 billion plus. Not a slap on the wrist where you still turn a profit over breaking the law. That's insane. Marcus Moore, what's going on? Thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself at 5:45 a.m. Don't act like you're mad at me for getting up early. It's not my fault. What's good, what's good, what's good? What else do we have? We've got Foundry and Antpool controlling 51% of Bitcoin's mining power. That puts Bitcoin, honestly, at a point where there could be a 51% attack. Because it's controlled by two miners. Between the two miners, they're at that 51% mark. So they need more miners. Everybody keeps looking at me cross-eyed when I say there's not going to be just one coin. There's not going to be just one coin. Because you can't have a situation like this and think that that's good. Things are going to change eventually. Just saying. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. Let's do this. So, implied open for the Dow futures, 70% down. S&P futures implied open, 8.75 down. NASDAQ futures implied open, 41.25 down. Let me make a correction. Dow futures implied open, 71 points, not percent, points down. Okay. Oil up 0.65. The US 10-year is unchanged at the moment. On the earnings report, we've got TJX, Lowe's companies, Target, Estee Lauder's reporting, Baidu's reporting, Williams Sonoma. So we have a lot of retailers coming in today. A lot of retailers coming in. Somehow they're all going to be hurting. Also, pay attention today. We actually get the minutes from the Federal Reserve's FOMC, previous FOMC meeting. We have some Fed talk, and it's the beginning of Jackson Hole. The crypto fear and greed index is all the way down at 44. If you see blood in the streets, what do I say? If you see blood in the streets, even if it's your own, it's time to invest. The market's down. Sprinkle, sprinkle, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's what I'm doing. Yes. DeFi Llama. Yeah, I figured we'd be down a little bit. We're at $146.423 billion in total value locked. It's a little bit of a dip. You know I like to be above 150, but we haven't been able to maintain that level. We've hit it, but we haven't been able to maintain that level for a while. But we'll get there, and we will maintain. Because like I said, in order for us to survive the coming future, we must invest. It's not going to be a question anymore. It's going to be like you have to get up and go to work every day. You're going to have to get up and invest every day. Part of your job will be to come home and review your investments and make adjustments. You're going to have to invest, period, in something. The market's a local business, your own business. You're going to have to invest, period. I don't see any other way. Look at that. See what I told you? I was hoping that this would serve as a floor, as support. We crashed right through it. So now, what did I say? We would have to take this. Let me just see where that is right there. And we have to pull this out. And you can see that's our next level of support. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm paying attention to. That's really what I'm paying attention to. Now we're slightly back on the uptick, but I don't know. And I have to tell you, I'm still not upset. What's the range that we're playing in? Do you remember the range that we're playing in? 109,337 to 123,092. That's the range we're playing in. Now we're playing at the bottom part of that range at the moment. But we've been moving laterally for a while. Look at how long we were moving laterally until we took this dip. I'm paying attention to the 200 right here. That's when we started playing these games. I mean, the 200 was just on this line for a while. 200 was on this line. If you look straight across, it was on that line for a while. We're going to need some market catalysts to see things go up, straight up. That's what we need. Looking at the big board, I'm just looking at all kinds of buying opportunities. Doge, Link, Cardano, XLM, Hype, HBAR, Ton, Sui, Solana, if you're into that kind of thing. BNB, XRP, abso-freaking-lutely XRP. Ethereum, BCH, BTC. I always, if I'm sprinkling in DCAing, I've got a piece going into BCC. Just saying. But I'm looking at a lot LTC, and as a matter of fact, Litecoin. SHIB has been maintaining a bit. But I could get in on some SHIB. I could do that and be all right. I could do that and be happy. But yeah, I'm looking at opportunities that tell me, can I get in now? Now, the problem is I don't want to catch falling daggers. So I'm only sprinkling in. I am not using dry powder. It's just my DCA. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. And then when I opportunity like there is now, when I think that we've hit the floor, which I don't think is going to happen until after Jerome Powell's Jackson Hole speech, until we hit the floor, I ain't going to worry about it. I am not going to worry about it. I'm going to chillax. I'm absolutely going to chillax. Because that's what I see. What I see is opportunity, and I want to take advantage of that opportunity to its fullest. Now, looking at these boards, my favorite coins are still positive, which are the top three, right? Solana, feeling the pain. Look at that. Year to date, back in the red. Back in the red. I told you, Solana is going to move in bigger motions than everybody else, I think, because the bulk of its business, meme coins. And we all know meme coins, all coins suffer greater. And meme coins suffer the greatest when in a market downturn. They can pop up the fastest, but they can also drop the fastest. Just saying. Pay attention to these things. Pay attention to these things. So I'm looking at that and I'm kind of saying to myself, there is an opportunity here and I'm going to hold off. But look, are you seeing this? Are you seeing Chainlink? The bell of the frickin' ball. Look at that. Nothing but red straight across. Nothing but green straight across. The bell of the frickin' ball. I told you, don't sleep on Chainlink. Chainlink's got a lot of things going on that make it make money. Right now, I'm just sitting back on like this with Chainlink. And I'm not going to realize those profits for a while. I'm going to relax. I'm going to relax. Chainlink, I think, is on a very long and very long, very slow run up is what I'm thinking Chainlink is. As more and more companies realize, more and more projects realize, if I want to do anything big, I've got to go through Chainlink. Remember when I said that Swift would do well to go buy an exchange? You want to hear something funny? Swift would do well to sell themselves to a Chainlink. I don't know how much Swift is worth, right? But it's a dying business. The only thing they have, I look at I look at Swift as like the way I look at BlackBerry. Your value isn't in your company, your value is in your assets. And BlackBerry had a lot of patents. That's what makes BlackBerry valuable, are all their patents. Well, what makes Swift very valuable are all their connections to all the banks. So they're partnered with Chainlink, but they should let Chainlink take over, because that would be the new level, the new way of doing business. That would put Chainlink in a completely different space. Even Ripple would look at that and kind of go, oh, damn. But here's something for you. While Ripple can handle settlements and all that, Chainlink does something different than what Ripple does. Between the two, you have a complete solution. A complete solution for moving value around the world. Interesting, no? I'm telling you, the great consolidation / culling is coming. And I'm just playing around with different ideas of who could buy who and why. Who can buy who and why? I think that's very interesting. But that's just me. That's just me. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for GrowMyBag.tv as we hit triple nickels, which is 5:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love what I do. I love what I do. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to do the research anyway, and I'm going to make these videos anyway because the videos are for my kids. I ask you guys all the time, what is your why? Define your why, and you'll probably be good to go. Well, I've defined my why, and it's my kids. So I love what I do, and I'm going to keep doing it. If you like what I'm doing, smash the likes, tell your friends about us, and let them know. This is the best community for understanding why things are going up, why things are going down, and how to react to both of those sides of the market. And also react to the market when it's just hovering around, going laterally. There's still opportunities to make money. There's still opportunities to grow your bag, whether we be moving up or moving down. And how do we do this? By practicing the GMB 3. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's what. That's how we do it. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your patience, and absolutely thank you for your trust. I'll see you tonight on the Crypto Overflow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.